Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe, and I want to do a quick pickups video. I had spoken about this a little while ago. A family friend of mine had passed away, and he had a huge collection of movies. So his wife, who we're also all friends with, obviously, said, "You got to come over, take whatever you want." I've been giving some to the library. I think she gave some of the older films with like Jerry Lee Lewis to the was it Jerry Lewis? Jerry Lee Lewis, right? She gave some of those to a senior center. So I went over there yesterday, and it was great because he had tons of really cool stuff, underground stuff, artsy fartsy stuff. These are the ones that I was really the most excited for, so I just wanted to talk about them briefly. The first thing I got, which I've started watching on Prime, rest in peace, Steve, by the way. He was a very nice guy, very intelligent. Um, Sad to see him go so young. But anyhow, one of the things I've been watching on Prime here and there is Northern Exposure, and he happened to have the first season. I don't see this anywhere, and when I had looked up shows that were like Twin Peaks, this kept cropping up. It's shot a little similarly, and it sort of has that like Outcast coming into a small town type of vibe, but it's not similar in terms of the weirdness. It's about this guy from like New York City, and he goes to Alaska to do some kind of, I think it's like a residency or something where they pay off your loans or whatever if you stay there for a year. And he starts to meet all the people, and initially everyone's resistant, and he's also kind of an asshole, but he sort of starts to come around, and it's a cute little show. I think the main actor had problems getting higher pay as the show went on, so after a few seasons he left. But this is just the first season, but that was really cool to find. He also had a movie that I wanted to get on Blu-ray and I didn't. Now that I have the DVD, I don't really have a reason to buy the Blu-ray. Heathers. I love Winona Ryder. She's one of my biggest crushes in terms of celebrities. I like Christian Slater well enough, and this is a cool little movie that I've seen before. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. This was one I was hoping he had, along with Eraserhead, which was his, which I got on DVD. Excuse me. This was one I hope he had, and he did. Naked Lunch. This is one I admittedly did not love when I saw it about a decade ago, but I wanted to rewatch it. It's very hard to find streaming, and I wanted to own a copy, but I didn't really want to buy it, so I was very happy to find this. The only one I would have really liked to find that he didn't have was The Brood by Cronenberg, but this is a movie about William Burroughs, and he's on all these drugs, and he goes on this adventure, and he kills his wife at the time. It's based off a true story, loosely, because he sees all this crazy shit, and it's just really weird and wacky. So I'm looking forward to rewatching this. That was a Cronenberg movie I didn't own. Another one I didn't own that I wanted to get because I really liked it was After Hours. This is a Scorsese film that doesn't feel a lot like a Scorsese film that you would see now. It's about this guy on the front. I think if I remember correctly, he goes to a neighborhood for a date or something, and he loses his wallet. Then his car gets towed. Then he gets like lost. Then he ends up at some weird party. Like every bad thing that's supposed to happen just keeps happening to him. But it's a cool little story, and I like this movie. I don't normally like movies where bad things keep happening to people, but this was really good. He also had this, which I wanted on Blu-ray as well, but I will totally settle for the DVD. It's called the Drop Dead Gorgeous movie set. And in it is Little Corey Gory, or Little Corey Gory, which is a fun little like horror movie, really low budget crap. I think I've reviewed it on the channel. It also includes Birds of Prey, Slash Dance, which I have on Blu-ray, and Kiss Daddy Goodnight with Uma Thurman. But I just really wanted to have Corey Gory, so I was excited to find that. This was one I always kept an eye out for at the thrift stores. Never saw it in the thrift stores. I had seen it years ago on maybe a streaming service or YouTube. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a family portrait revisited. This is a documentary about the filming of the movie. I love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series up until the Netflix one, really. That one I didn't like much, but this was really cool to have. He also had Ren and Stimpy, Season 5 and part of Season 4. I was a big fan of this as a kid. My son is way too young for this, but when he's like 10 or 12, we'll bust this out, and hopefully he gets some chuckles out of it like I did. And finally, This was one I owned many years ago. Someone had traded in at GameStop, and I bought it from them when I worked there when I was like 19 or 20 years old. And I watched it. I had no idea what I was in for, and it's completely nuts and vulgar and gross. And it just got like I think a UHD or a Blu-ray recently announced. Gummo. This is a Harmony Korine film. He did Spring Breakers. He's done quite a few movies now, but this is by far one of his weirdest ones. It's like about these like trashy people living in this horrible rundown town, killing each other and like skinning cats and eating the meat. Everything is like filthy and disgusting. There's this one famous scene where the kid on the cover is taking a bath in like this black water, eating spaghetti in the bath. It's just everything that's meant to kind of be gross and cringy is. It's a very weird trip into what almost seems like realistic, like middle America, but it's obviously a movie. It's not real. So not really recommended because it's so gross and absurd. But if you like crazy shit, Gummo's probably up your alley. So I was very happy to get that because I was thinking about buying the DVD from my buddy Jeff because he got the 4K or whatever that just came out. And I was like, I just really need the DVD. I don't really need the Blu-ray or anything on that one. And then Steve had it. So yeah, bunch of really cool stuff as well as Eraserhead, which I think I showed off in a previous video. So let me know, guys, if you like any of these, if you've seen any of these, or if they just sound interesting to you. Thanks, guys, for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.